Hi guys, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. So, Michelle, I wanted to start with you. You have fought so many animals this season because when it started with a cougar, I was like, that's crazy. And then it was wolves like the next episode, and I was just like, oh, this poor woman should not be in the wilderness. So I wanted to ask you when you see that stuff in a script and you kind of have to figure out how she would react to a cougar on the front porch or when she finally goes outside. What for you is like the biggest challenge of not only grounding that in your character, but making it so like we understand those stakes?
Mm. I have never stood in front of a cougar or lion and thought that it was about to attack me, but I definitely, I think, working with our director and kind of seeing like the setup of like, okay, what's the distance that it is and how long is the scene going to be and all those things you kind of take into account. And I'd say like finding it on the day in those like specific action scenes are kind of what I lean on because like you can only prep that so much until you're there in the moment. But we had a stuffed wolf that they didn't they like CGI obviously the animals, but the wolf they would like hold in for reference, and that looked so real. And I have photos like carrying my giant wolf around.
Well, and in that same vein, I'm not talking about a woman who's been through a lot. Right out the gate on this show, she has kind of been struggling with it, and like we get to see her have a little bit of a companionship in this season, but it is still a struggle for you as an actor. Is like getting to show those darker parts of the character freeing, or do you kind of wish every once in a while Taylor Sheridan would like give her a break?
I think when it's
Oh,
consistently dark, it starts to bleed into you a little bit because it's just like it's a lot of hours on set in those kind of
mm,
places. But I'm just happy to be there. Happy to be there. But
mm.
I definitely had to like take a beat after work some days. And I know Amina knows all about that from not
Yeah,
only season two but season one.
yeah, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Mina, like you have been through it from the beginning to end. But I do like in this season, it's not necessarily a break, but she does have someone she can rely on a little bit more. Was that exciting for you to kind of have someone to lean on a bit more in season two?
Absolutely. I think because in the beginning of season two, you get to see a completely different side of her. You get to see this very soft side of her, but also a side of her that is kind of just remembering what it is to be a human being, to be a human being with navigating a teenage body, a teenage mind and a teenage heart that is so precious. And you don't I feel like a lot of people that are in the situations that Tiona was in, a lot of our ancestors, and just people in general, people of all types have go through what they go through, and a lot of people don't have the opportunity to be a kid, don't have an opportunity to experience things in an awkward, messy, silly way. So for Tiona to have this moment of breath that is just childlike, and for her to finally be able to trust again and to remember what it means to be an Opsalige woman again is everything I wanted for her in the beginning. And then towards the end, it gets crazy. But she had a moment, and I'm really, really grateful for that.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask you as a follow-up too, like when you see those scripts from season one where, Fiona has to cut all of her hair off and pretend to like basically strip away everything that makes her a woman in order to survive.
Mm.
Is it nice to finally get that one brief reprise where she gets to embrace her femininity in season two?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what any woman desires. I mean, not any woman, but a lot of people desire that. They desire to feel full-bodied in whatever it is that they want to feel full-bodied in, but everyone has a desire for that. And so for Tiona to finally get that and to finally feel love, but most importantly, to finally feel safe, um, was everything between her dad and between Pete. So, mhm.
Yeah. Well, and I wanted to ask you guys for my last quick thing. Taylor Sheridan women are I love them. Even if they don't have a lot of screen time, they are still very strong women. What is the one thing you each love about your characters?
I love how
Both of them.
Nothing came out.
Um, she's just honestly, she goes by her own rules and she doesn't care. She's gonna say what she's gonna say, she's gonna feel what she's gonna feel, and she doesn't care if you feel uncomfortable by it. She's made me so much more confident. I love Tiona.
I love that. I'd say Elizabeth, she's open. Like she's open to learn and to attempt the ranch and to fight. And I just think that she's a very strong young woman.
I 100% agree. I love the show a lot. And so thank you guys so much for talking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Have a great one.
You too.
Bye.